Hey, we're Ben and MP, and we're bringing this good old trustworthy boat back to life. In the previous episode, you saw how we were building the rudder from scratch and installing it onto the boat. However, that's not where it stops. Hopefully we will never need this, but we're going to start working on an emergency tiller, just in case something goes wrong. So watch how we build this emergency tiller from scratch and install it onto the boat. It's always very sad when a nice big piece of wood has to be cut off, but this part over here, which is going to be cut off next, is just very in the way, very heavy, not being used. So you'll see, it's going to go. The rudder we made long intentionally just so we could cut it after installing it, because we didn't want to cut it in the workshop and then find out that it wasn't long enough. So we've measured, made some templates of some structures that we can use for the emergency tiller. Now that emergency tiller structure, which used to be this one over there, is going to be replaced because we want to just have a slightly more efficient way of installing it and just have a bigger angle of the rudder, like turning angle of the rudder with our emergency tiller. So that's going to be made now. This is a lot shorter, so we've given ourselves a lot more platform space, but we're still going to make the part that fastens onto it to then be able to stick the tiller above this rail over here. We're going to remove all the stainless steel brackets to send and go and get fixed and tidied up a bit. And then also there's a few things like the part that he just cut off the top. He wants to make round. We're going to make the hole through the top of the rudder to make the emergency tiller go in and so on. And it's a lot easier to do it here than up there. And also we want to apply epoxy in between the wood and the stainless steel mounts. So we lifted it up, see how it all fits. Fits really nicely, looks really cool. Everything's cut, now everything's down again to finish. This is the main reason we took it down. We need to make a nice hole for the emergency tiller, or at least for the adapter to put the emergency tiller on, because the one we have now is not at an angle that we are happy with. So we're going to make one at a new angle to optimize the space and reinforce it as well. So that's going to be done over there.
É? Peixe que dá lá. Pode ser uma laboca? Aqui.
Bota assim, levanta. Levanta.
Ela atrasou para trabalhar. E ela dá muito carro. Por exemplo, ela fez quando ela...
Pezinho, vai. Levanta um pouquinho. Vai. Vai. Bota ele um pezinho, aqui. Aí, aqui. Bota ele bem certinho. É pouquinho. Aí assim, aguenta ele aí. Aguenta aí. Aguenta aí que eu vou pôr esse cara aqui. Aí ele. Ele escorrega, né?
Botar em ombro aqui. Assim, né?
Eu tenho.
A gente diz mais um pouquinho.
Eu não tenho.
Tem a enxada do Toninho ali, quer dizer, enxada.
Vira o outro lado, né?
If you like our content, if it's informative or entertaining in any way, just click that subscribe button below. It's free and it helps us out loads and makes Yabá look more and more beautiful every day.
Quero ver agora como é que ele vai servir aqui. Deixa ele serve aqui. Levante.
The rudder is now all in place, and the mount and the brackets. This stainless steel rod has been placed through the middle with a little extra ring on top, but that came with it before, and we just had to mount the rudder to be sure it's all good. Now all's done, the rudder, the mount, the adapter for the emergency tiller. Now all that has to be done is the emergency tiller itself.
Vou viajar.
Esse aqui é curto. Esse aqui é curto. Ele cresce bem, ó. Vê. Ó.
Unfortunately, when building a boat, you cannot just think of the good stuff. You cannot just plan, here's where I'm gonna have a barbecue and here's where I'm gonna have a nap. You also have to plan stuff thinking of emergencies. If something doesn't go well as expected, you need to have a plan for that. So that's why now, after having our rudder in place, we're also building the support for the tiller, which we're gonna need to use in case of an emergency that our wheel is not commanding the rudder anymore for any reason. We're gonna need to use the hand tiller to move the rudder, and that's what we're working on now. So now that that piece over there is ready, it's time to work on the tiller itself. Our old tiller is cracked, as you can see, so we have this wood that just arrived for us to build our new tiller from. While the tiller comes to life down there at the shed, let's see what's happening here inside. Are you cooking?
Trying to.
What?
That I found in the shops.
No way!
This is a watertight bulkhead, so I'm attempting the caulking, but it's going well. It's more difficult to find the threads and the thicknesses you need out of that. It comes in a ball and actually putting it in between the seams. It's going well. It's hot here. Anyway, will look pretty eventually. Hey you, I want my cutter back.
There.
Ah. Quote the movie. I shouldn't complain, there's people who do this on full boats, so I've only got to do these bulkheads.
Okay, I'm going back to the tiller.
Bye.
Just so you have an idea about time, because we usually just put the video, a lot of short images, and you don't know how long things take to happen. So this wood for the tiller, you saw how it arrived completely raw, arrived 2 hours ago. So in 2 hours it got measured and cut in the saw, in the circular saw, and planed down and sanded and made round and tested and everything in 2 hours. That's because Nezu is super fast, not just skillful, but he's a machine, he's unstoppable.
Vou botar aqui dentro.
Vai. É assim que eu meu feijão.
After all the effort of our team, the tiller finally worked and we'll be able to steer the boat with it if we ever need to. So now, after some protective layers of paint, we are ready to go to the next steps. Join us next week as we present our first window prototype and also as we start painting the outside of our home. But before saying bye, we would like to thank Bill for donating through PayPal and also Edward and Yvonne for joining us on Patreon. Until next Sunday!